Hey everyone, welcome back to another Massive video, and let's talk about Summer Marnie and Grimmsnarl today, right? So, Summer Marnie and Grimmsnarl is fantastic. Like, she might be the best seasonal. It's probably like between her and Valentine Serena, which both are, fantastic units. And yeah, so her role is really interesting because she could do like everything. She could tank, she could deal damage, she could sync nuke, right? Fantastic things. She's great for Battle Villa, right, as well, with the no MP on her stat buffs, which is great as well, right, for that specific purpose. So yeah, she just does a lot of great things. She also debuffs if you care about that, I guess. But yeah, anyways, let's first talk about in terms of lucky skill. She is a sync nuker. So you definitely want Crit Strike 2 on her, right? If not Crit Strike 2, then Crit Strike 1. Not any of those. Maybe if you want to also, use her as like a triple striker main tank a bit more, then you could maybe consider Vigilance, I guess, right? But yeah, those are general lucky skills that you probably want on her. So as for her grid, let's start off at 1 out of 5. At 1 out of 5, you basically get everything. Right, like all the other units in the game. Get everything, pick up everything, right? You could even pick up the crunch stuff too. So, 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5, you have a few things, right? Foul Fighting 3, you have a 30% multiplier over there, right? You have Honor Roll and Crunch. You got Ripple Effect on Spirit Break, Move Gauge Refresh on Spirit Break, right? You got the Move Gauge Refresh 9 on Bulk Up, right? MP Refresh on Not Today. Not that you really need an MP Refresh on Not Today, unless you're like Villa or something, because usually only you need to use it once. Because after 3 Bulk Ups, you have Max Attack, Max Defense, because of Double Buffer, right? So you have Max Attack, Max Defense after 3 Bulk Ups, and Max Crit as well, right? Yeah. And then after you use like 1 Not Today, you get Gradual Healing, you get Endurance, and then you get Max Special Defense and the Max Speed. So you don't really need MP Refresh on that, but yeah, those are just some of the nodes here. You also get Burst in, but who cares? You also have a Attack plus 20 over here as well. So in terms of what you could pick up, definitely you want to pick up the Spirit Break stuff, right? I guess you could Foul Fighting, but again, it really is team comp dependent because you need something to confuse or trap or flinch your opponent, right? So if you have a unit that could do that, you could pick that up. Probably would still want to pick up Bulk Up, Move Gauge Refresh 9 as well, right? And if you don't have someone who could really do that on your team, then you could go for this extra Attack plus 20 if you want, extra Spirit Break power-ups, right, here and there, some attack speed. Oh, there's a good speed note there, right? So yeah, you could do something like this. Again, just depends on your team comp, right? As for like a crunch comp, this might be a bit easier since you have all the stuff on the right side over here, right? So yeah, you could also pick up Attack plus 20 with the Move Gauge Refresh 9 on Bulk Up over here easily. You can pick up this extra crunch over here, some other stuff here and there, right? Or if you want more attack, more speed, or if you're also trying to tank, defense if you want, right, HP. So yeah, it's much easier to build with the crunch. If you don't care about Ripple Effect, I guess you could also drop that as well, right? And you could pick up like both Foul Fighting for the Spirit Break build, right? Let's pick up HP. So you could also do something like this with the with Spirit Break if you're not picking up Ripple Effect over there, right? So yeah, again, it really depends. Like it would be nice against opponents that are special, right? But I don't care that much about luring the side's special attack. If you're gonna like sync nuke them, if you have like a 3 out of 5 with Devastation, right? But or overpower, but it's nice to have. It's nice to have. But also, the other thing about Grimmsnarl is, if you're running Grimmsnarl, I generally wouldn't really want to. Again, we're talking about like 3 out of 5 Grimmsnarl right now, right? Because 3 out of 5 Grimmsnarl has overpower and devastation. But like, if you're running Grimmsnarl, I wouldn't really rely on Grimmsnarl to be debuffing the opponent's special attack for devastation and overpower. I'd probably just bring another unit, right? So Ripple Effect, again, just doesn't seem that useful in this case scenario. But yeah, anyways, 3 out of 5 Grimmsnarl. There's a few ways you could go with this. Her grid is very expensive, right? So you definitely want to pick up Devastation. You want to pick up Overpower. It just depends on how you want to get to those, right? So generally, you want to do something like this, right? So you have Overpower, Devastation, all that stuff. And then what you want to do after depends. If you are more tank heavy with her, you could pick up First Aid over here, right? If you're a bit more worried about the move gauge, you could pick up the move gauge refresh over here, right? If you want to do more damage on super effective, you could pick up super effective 2 over here. Again, it all depends on what you're trying to do, right? Move gauge, speed, do that, tanking, first aid, more damage, super effective 2 or super duper effective 2, right? So yeah, it really just depends on what you want to do. I wouldn't pick up Foul Fighting 3, even though it's like 30% versus 20%. It just costs way too much to get over there, right? And then you'll also have to build your team for an extra flinch, confuse, or trap user. So I think it's probably the best option. Another thing you could do with, like, if you're running like Villa, is you could pick up Quick Tempo over here, right? You could pick up Quick Tempo. Probably still want Devastation. Actually, it depends on your Villa team. You might not need Devastation, right? But yeah, the move gauge refreshes definitely. Bulk up move gauge refresh as well, right? And if you need first aid later on, you could pick that up instead of, I guess, maybe the bulk up move gauge refresh, right? So again, there are a lot of different builds for Marnie, just depending on what you want to use her for, right? Again, crunch build you could also do. You could pick Foul Fighting with crunch, Devastation, have someone else debuff the opponents for you, right? Although actually, how costly is this? Yeah, it costs too much. Yeah, at 3 out of 5, honestly, the crunch build is just not that great, right? Looking at it, I guess you could also pick up super duper effective 2 here. Again, first aid. But yeah, it's an option. It's definitely an option, right? So moving on to team comps, just a purely focusing on Marnie comp. Honestly, you don't even need like this Cobalion slot is just like whatever. It's my slot for saying you could put whatever in there. It could be Cobalion. It could be something for, again, just move gauge acceleration, right? It's Singsu Blue or something, right? This slot doesn't matter. Like, you could run like 2 units on this team, just like Getsus and Marnie, and you'll do very, very, very well. You don't even need a 3rd unit, but obviously, why not put a 3rd unit in there? It's a free slot, right? But yeah, this slot you could put in whatever. There's so many options. Kukui, right? For defense debuffs, right? Or the new BP Scyther, right? That as well. Or if you want something to, help Getsus do a bit more damage, right? Some special attack buffer, or like a Torchic or something. Sabrina, whatever, right? So yeah, there's a lot of options if you're just making the Marnie the sole focus of the team. However, if you're not doing that, and if you want to do the cooler thing, which is run multiple strikers, right? What you could do is you could run Iris and Hydreigon with Marnie. So first of all, Iris and Hydreigon, you got the double debuff, whatever it's called again, double drop, right? You have double drop to help Marnie's Overpower and Devastation out, right? Really, really fast there. And also, again, she could do damage by herself, although you do need to pick up like 3 heads MP refresh. You have to rely on 3 heads MP refresh to get, obviously, crit, right? So you could, again, do damage with your Dragon Rush. And then over here, you could throw in like another damage dealer, right? So the damage dealer you're looking for has to fulfill 2 requirements. One is relatively self-efficient, and the other one is not a absolute like crusher on gauges. So you can't like run something like a Duraludon, right? Like really, really slow, all that stuff. But yeah, it has to be self-sufficient relatively, right? And again, has to work with gauges. Something like a Leon. Leon is fantastic in this slot because not only are you relatively self-sufficient, if you get lucky with the MP Kindle at least, right? You also have the trainer move that gives you a free move, right? And then on top of that, you also have a Galar Flagbearer, which then gives both Leon and Marnie the extra, 20%? extra, yeah, extra 20% damage buff, and then extra, what is it? 23% damage reduction, right? Especially again for Marnie, very, very good there. You can also run the Glorias here. Well, not the Glorias, the Summer Gloria, right? You can run Summer Gloria there, Snipe Shot every other, or scope him out, whatever the trainer move is every other turn, then Snipe Shot. But yeah, just any, relatively gauge friendly units over here. And that's why like Iris is so good in this slot, because she gives you move gauge acceleration for the whole team, right? So that definitely helps out a lot. So I don't know, something like Red, Guzma, Nate, what else? I don't know. Just whatever other self-sufficient strikers you could put in there. Maybe Brendan, I guess. Although he's obviously he isn't like that great on cages, but I guess that's something. Oh, what's his face? Hilbert, the Halloween Hilbert, right? You do that. Alder Volcarona maybe if you try hard enough. Archie Kyogre, Maxi Groudon, right? You could probably do that as well. Beast, how fast is Beast Starfetched again? Let's see. Not very fast, but she does have that critical, whatever it's called, right? Or is it in her grid? Oh, there it is. Critical Charge 9. Yeah, that's what it's called. Critical Charge 9. She does have that. So that kind of helps, I guess. How self-sufficient is Dreadnought? Let's see. Because she also has the Strained Freebie, which is very, very good. Oh, yeah. She's good here as well. Right? Especially, again, if you get another MP refresh on that, you can max out your crit as well. Right? So, yeah, just a lot of fantastic, damage deals you could throw in there. Again, if you are mostly tanking, with Marnie, right? Like, you have 3 damage dealers outputting damage this whole time. If only Serena Whimsicott had, like, crit buffs, that would be, like, unstoppable. But, yeah, anyways. That's really this one, I guess. Hope you all enjoy. Let me know, guys, think in the comments down below. Like and share this video for our channel for some more content. See you guys in the next one.